Oh, is the mic working now? Yeah, that's fucking funny. Maybe that's why, huh? Maybe that's why it fucking helped if I turned it on. Oh, is the mic working now? That's funny. It's working. There we go. Yeah, I seen it. I just didn't turn it on from the fucking stream. Yeah, exactly. You sign that contract to uphold a driver's license. Well, see what they twisted in is the driver's license was only supposed to be for commerce, for people who drove for Swift Trucking, for Swans, taxi cabs. People are actually conducting commerce on it in a professional based manner. You going to the grocery store as a private citizen, you know, it is your right to travel. You're not doing it for a business. You going to the doctor is a right to travel. You're not doing it for a business. It's not for a company. But yeah, this whole renew your license every freaking so often bull crap is like, go renew your education. Why don't people have to take their high school diplomas every 4 years to make sure that people aren't just, becoming retarded? I mean, talk about the president needs to take a cognitive test or whatever. I think it. I mean, if we're gonna force driver's license to be mandated, renewed every freaking year, why not education too? No, it's not even a loophole, man. It's when you don't express these rights, they literally have it. I forget where it's at. I gotta remember that. I need to get better notes when I do this shit. But they consider it as no as you forfeited your rights to this, by signing these contracts, thinking that you're incompetent. It's not until you realize that these rights exist, and until you exercise these rights, they become null and void. Just like when you start exercising these rights, their laws become null and void. It's a giant pyramid scam, dude. Really, it is. The Constitution trumps the federal shit trumps the state shit trumps the city ordinance crap. I mean, it goes on. It's like a big ass scam, dude. That's not what you're doing. It's how you say it. What do you mean, no, Mike's still not working? It's fucking working. Am I streaming in the background? Well, I did. Turn it down so I don't have to hear myself repeat. I don't even know where the mic is on this fucking computer. Right up there where the camera is. I was gonna Bluetooth my earpiece to it, but it ain't working. So yeah, we basically give up these rights. Just the same thing as the concealed weapons permit. Like you're signing away your constitutional Second Amendment right to bear arms. It doesn't say that you need permission anywhere and how to carry it. It's your right. They say that you follow the rules of you got to carry it on your back a certain way or do this or this a certain way. It's bullshit. Ah, dude, yeah, you got to be an immigrant though to get those stimmies. You got to cross the border and come back with an accent, then you get a stimulus check, dude. Guaranteed. Yeah, so I had to redo this video because I did it the other day with a bunch of music and shit, and YouTube copyrighted strike the shit out of my video because I was playing music in the background. Like normally it lets me edit it out and just mute it and cut the music out to a certain point, but yeah, but that 1300 barely covers your fucking milk and gas in Alaska, dude. Milk's like $20 a gallon. Same as gas. Yeah, I wish I had that footage too, because it won't even let me play my own stream footage in like my own fucking save. It has me blocked too. Stupid. That's why I need a capture card. That way I could record all this shit and have everything saved. That way I could go back and edit and do cut videos and shit and everything. Oh, Article V, relationships between states. See, right now Oregon wants to get a divorce. We're trying to become like the new fucking Germany or some shit. We're gonna have East Oregon and West Oregon. Well, it's just gonna be Portland. We just want to cut off Portland. That's what we're trying to do. Because media barely tells you this, but mostly everybody in the east side of Oregon is all Republican. And that's why they're trying to join fucking Idaho, because everybody's here being dictated by all the mass population on the West Coast, like Portland and Salem and all that shit, which is a bunch of your Democrats. I just want out of this fucking state. This state sucks. That website. Let's see, yeah. Tuition. Tuition. Of course. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I love this website. And see, just so you guys know that you can also go to I hate Google now, it sucks, man. This congress.gov and find this very same thing, even though it's a pain in the ass to look for. Like, you gotta really type shit in. It I find shit better on my phone than I do on a stupid computer. I don't know why, but even my Google searches, like it only goes that far. Even in my phone, it goes way further. Even though you go fucking two, but still. Yeah, Porkies, what's up, dude? You talking to the stream? Yeah. Hey, yeah, I mean, this is a good place to find out where your constitution says. See, explanation. Let's go with the first one. Religion, speech, press, assembly, petition. I mean, it's like everybody's did all this shit, but ain't nobody petitioned for anything. They petition to get like a bunch of money and shit, but then they buy houses and luxury cars and don't do shit with it. Then the people that, they're petitioning for never see shit. Well, this is weird though, because you got a lot of the states, at least two of them that I know of, Texas and what was it, Georgia or Tennessee or one of the two. They're actually putting the Ten Commandments back into schools. Kitty, you were just outside, dude. Why'd you come in? You don't know? You do? Yeah, so that means they're kind of promoting, one religion over others in schools. I don't know why they just don't display them all, I guess. You know. I like how they kind of make it short and skinny on here. Like, learn more. Well, yeah, I mean, that's what it fucking should be in the first place. It shouldn't give you a short and skinny. See, the first is also protected by the 14th and due process and all that. The rights to First Amendment from interference by state governments. Yeah, it's my religion to be able to travel down the dang road. What is that like from Mad Max? The greaser religion? How do we get like Antifa? If the government prohibit people from knowingly associating with groups that engage in and promote illegal activities, which I believe burning down government buildings and cop cars and all that shit is, considered illegal activities. Well, why aren't they forbidding any of that shit that's happening and saying, oh, it's the right to fucking protest and shit, which obviously it's not. This is the site where I actually read about sovereign citizenship being a part of. What the fuck? Ninth Amendment, which this is what they did to the Ninth Amendment. Oh, you really got to look for it. Oh, so they're trying to replace the ninth with the 10th or what? Because this is where I read that you're basically a sovereign king and queen, and that there should be no titles of nobility or lordship in the U.S. So basically, the whole landlord thing goes against the Constitution because everybody was supposed to be actually having their own frickin' land. They know it is the land of plenty, the American dream, they say. But yeah, I like how the amendment 9.3 amendment doctrine. It's obviously, I mean, just look at what enumerated rights mean. Mm, and fuck it. Bunch of blank ass pages, man. Ah, oh shit. That's why they don't want fucking people looking up the Ninth Amendment. Because, oh, this says currently. So they don't want you to know what it means historically. Right to procreate, the right to bodily integrity, the right to what? Contraception, the right to marry, the right to abortion. But oh, they took that shit away, even though it's unconstitutional. The right to sexual intimacy. Hmm. Yeah, if you guys don't know what your rights are, man, how do you know what's being taken away? Yeah, that's the one thing I think of why they should get rid of borders. Not the US border, but the border between these stupid states and quit letting these lesser entity states dictate our constitutional rights to us. That's the small government we need to get rid of is the micromanagement shit. Historical background. See, they had limited enumerated powers, but they're kind of taking the individual's rights away to protect the mass. So, whether you guys are aware of it or not, if you don't have your individual rights and express those, you're basically living in a socialism government, dude. That's why the only people who benefit from having a driver's license and all that are either rich people or people who don't care. Because the ones that don't care benefit from insurances, and the ones that do care benefit too. Because they're the ones that are rich enough that the insurances don't fucking screw them over. Ah, mediocre class, they fucking drag it out, make you sign off on a bunch of injuries and shit. And they don't pay you outright. They definitely don't pay you what you fucking pay into the shit. See, I want to know what it actually says. See, it keeps giving me those options of click on it. On this one, there's gonna be no option to click. I wish I had my old phone, dude, because I had screenshots and all that shit saved of it. And then somebody stole my phone, so I lost all my information on it. Cause yeah, like even when you step into a courtroom and you're like, Your Honor, that's a title of nobility. That's bullshit. You should address nobody as Your Honor. That's what they want everybody to be known by, is the title of your occupation. Well, the shoe, paper boy. You know? Fuck, dude. If Trump gets in, we ain't gonna have to have tax breaks. He's gonna get rid of them, put in tariffs. That pisses me off. How they fucking are trying to hide what the Ninth Amendment says. That's why I want to look and see what the original documents absolutely say. Because you don't get the original documents online, man. And they give you some cut edited fucking version of it. Yeah, I just wanted to redo this video. And everybody knows that they have the right to travel and it is protected constitutionally. And if you don't stand up for these rights, they will be taken away, just like any other right. It's so weird that nobody cares about. They all want like degenerate content. Which, yeah, sure is entertaining. It is distracting. That's for sure. Nobody wants to fucking know what they're being robbed from. Look, seriously, it's, go back. Let's see what the Second Amendment right says. Keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Look up Third Amendment. Third Amendment. Such language has created considerable debate regarding intended scope. Well, I mean, should not be infringed upon. Keep. I mean, that's pretty plain and simple there. And with the same thing, this is the same argument as the right to travel. Oh, well, people had horse buggies and donkeys to ride on. They weren't thinking, the right to travel in semi trucks. Well, yeah, that goes the same thing with that law is to be adjusticated to the times. Right to bear arms means a freaking machine gun if a machine gun exists. I mean, you're lucky we're not going as far as the point of everybody should have their own nuclear grenades. Then we'd definitely see fallout. I mean, that's what it's supposed to be. Is everybody is supposed to have equal size sticks here in America? As far as my understanding. Obviously, you can't outgun the military itself, but I mean, for a ground militia, mutiny. Procurium? What's procurium? Ooh, Latin for by the court. Huh. That's why they don't. That's why they tell you that you guys don't understand the language of law because when you go into a court, you don't speak Latin. Therefore, yeah, you have no clue what the definition of these fucking words mean that they're trying to use. Like, what the hell's an appellate court? Appellate court is the higher court that hears and reviews the appeals. This is the appellate court that I appealed my shit in. The also court of appeals. So this is civil procedure if you want to file a lawsuit, criminal procedure, appellate procedure courts if you want to get your like background or whatever expunged. You gotta go through figure out what these legal processes are. I like this website, dude. You learn a lot, man. I don't know. I think we should bring back safety education classes, dude, in high schools and shit. Oh wait, everybody gets gun safety training. They'll actually be able to aim their targets, man. And hey, if people are going to shoot at each other, at least they'll be able to hit their target, and we won't have stray bullets. See, but this is the bullshit, though. Statutes and ordinances. They're trying to say this crap outweighs this. A statute that infringes on the Second Amendment. Basically, they take your Second Amendment away. They go through the schmeal of, is it justified? Which is, violent, obviously, occasions and shit like that. Yeah, it's definitely justified. Hit it. You're not going outside. Open the window. There you go. You can open the window, get the breeze. Definitely need to get different streaming software because, man, I totally forgot how to use Streamlabs. Climate law, family law, criminal law, constitutional law, business law. Who are we? What do we do? Who pays for this? Who fucking pays for this? That should go on a t-shirt. Who pays for this? 1939, which seems to be a big, like, I don't know, big date for the U.S. in 1930s, man. Almost as if that was historical events took place that changed the course of American history. What? So what, does that mean you're not allowed to have modified under commerce? See, there's a bunch of commerce laws, is what I'm understanding. Interstate commerce. That's a lot of laws. Let's see what it says. Uh, I'll do the third one. Do, 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 do. Ooh, the Magna Carta, which dates back to 1215. Huh. Sounds like some English Britain laws there. I'm trying to find a certain word like this that Get a highlight. That's highlighted or whatever. That gives me the definition of it. Yeah. See, the right to self-incriminatory. So you don't have to answer any questions. So technically, when you're traveling and you get pulled over and they ask you a bunch of shit, you do not have to answer anything. Therefore, which they don't do anymore because they claim they don't have to. Therefore, anytime the law enforcement takes suspect into custody, law enforcement makes suspect aware of all rights known as the Miranda rights. I wonder why they don't say use the Miranda rights anymore, it seems they claim to skip that a lot because they don't want to acknowledge that you have constitutional rights. If you do and they do, then you got two parties in a contract, both in agreement of that your constitutional rights exist. That's why they tend to skip over that part. And a lot of judges, they're like, oh well, in the heat of the thing, like cops just half the time escalate the situation to where it turns violent, to where they don't have to. They go by a different book, man. I swear. Because they're known for that type of reputation, of course, people are gonna fucking run from them. Ain't nobody wants to get slammed to the ground for $100 ticket. Might break your fucking arm, bust your head open. They've killed many people. So, I mean, shit. So, yeah, basically, if you hand them any travel documents, you're being questioned. And you should have the right to, have an attorney there present as you're being interrogated by law enforcement. Well, I wanted to see what the hell this site says what a person is, because when you interact and engage and don't express your damn train, man. Watch out, Kitty. The train's out, Kitty. You wave these rights. Look at these. Two waves to forego something. Act of voluntarily giving up a right. Oh, so we're the jumps to commerce. Well, yeah, this site's free though. Anybody can look this shit up themselves. It's all about litigation. Resolving disputes by filling answers and complaints. It's like that movie, man. Thank you for not smoking, where the dude argues about vanilla ice cream and chocolate. Should we make vanilla ice cream illegal because the people who like chocolate don't like vanilla? It's as simple as that. Well, thank God I need to find this. Civil action following complaint. See, because you always see those things about, oh, you could sue these fucking people, but how? Hardest part is finding a lawyer that, will file a civil action and stick up for your rights. And because of that, a lot of complaints go unseen. Defendant may file motions. See, how do you file motions if you don't know how? This is the type of shit that we should learn in high school. Fuck college. People need to know legal rights and laws and shit before they turn 18 and step into this contracted world. I'm definitely gonna bookmark this one. Yeah, you do have the right to represent yourself. If you do know what you're doing and can understand all this shit and how to present yourself, but it does take a lot of time and work, though, man, I'll tell you that. I've been studying this stuff off and on for like 5, 10 years, looking into this stuff. And it's hard, man. It's hard. And it's definitely not like a one-stop shop. They make it where you gotta rights of a person. General protections against self-incrimination. I want to find out what they say the legal definition of persons is, because then it really goes into commerce laws and shit of what a legal person is and how the if you identify as a persons, which is definition of a beast, basically. But here is federal taxation. And where is it? See, damn it. The hell, man? Gives me everything but dang persons. What the hell? I typed in persons, not property. Why can't it just gives me person? 14. Enter personal funds, provisions. See, what the fuck, man? What? See, I even told, fuck, what's his name? Cone. American courts are based on English law. He's like, no, it's not. It's completely different legal system. It's based on it, man, right there. Besides, how many, no, Dan. Of course, you want to use my precise. The exact tax exempt under the organization must be. I don't know, Colt. Election year issues, lobbying issues. So all these political organizations that lobby it against political shit like abortion and stuff. I mean, do they lose their tax exempt because they're trying to force their religious beliefs on people's political activities, organizations? I don't know, Colt. You need some training on this, bud? Should we go to the small to mid-size tax exempt organization workshop? Applying for Section 501c3 status. I wonder if you could apply for this status as an individual. What? Gaming? What does that mean? Charitable gaming? Well, you play video games and get tax exempt?
Welcome to the Charitable Gaming for Exempt Organizations course. This course is presented by the Exempt Organizations Office of the IRS. Hi, I'm Legal, the Stay Exempt Eagle, and I'll
Legal
guide
the
you through the
Eagle.
courses here at Stay Exempt. This course includes questions and activities that test your knowledge. You'll be instructed to click on the screen to participate in the activities. When you're ready to learn about charitable gaming for exempt organizations, select the Continue button. In this course, we'll talk about the rules for tax-exempt organizations that conduct gaming activities. We'll also discuss how to determine withholding amounts and how and when to report those gaming taxes appropriately. When you're ready to learn about charitable gaming for exempt organizations, select the Charitable Gaming button.
Or if the Hunger Games is considered charitable gaming.
Hi, I'm Richard. I'm on the board of a Section 501c3 organization called Cute and Curly Animal Rescue, and I've heard that charitable gaming can be a good way to fundraise. Can you help me?
I sure can, Richard. From the Saturday night bingo in the church hall, to the video lottery at the Veterans Club, and the poker tournament at the Fraternal Lodge, all are examples of gaming or gambling for organizations exempt from federal income tax.
Wow, that's a lot of different games.
So, hold on. As long as your gambling is part of a charitable organization, like bingo night at a church hall, you can write that shit off? As you donated to charity? Dang, no wonder why I'd be seeing people in bingo night, dude. Like young people now in bingo night. Not like in person, but on, on fucking social media and shit, YouTube.
Wow, that's a lot of different games.
Charitable gaming is one of the most common and successful methods of producing income for many tax-exempt organizations. But remember that for almost all tax-exempt organizations, including 501c3s, gaming activities don't, by themselves, further an exempt purpose. So you have to be careful about how much gaming you do and pay attention to the additional tax and reporting requirements your gaming activities may produce. Let's talk about how your organization can comply with IRS rules while conducting gaming activities. Select the Lawful Gaming Practices button to move forward.
Can you explain the rules for conducting charitable gaming?
No problem. First, lawful gaming usually requires a gaming license from the state where your organization conducts the games.
Yeah, I wonder if you could turn your gambling into a charitable thing,
your
that
organization's federal tax exemption.
you're donating
You need
to
to make sure the gaming doesn't become a substantial
SSH funds.
part of your organization's activities. For certain games, some specific excise taxes and filing requirements may apply, and unless your game meets one of the exceptions to being treated as an unrelated business activity, the income may be unrelated business income, or UBI for short, which is taxable to your organization just like regular income.
What kinds of games or gambling fall under these rules?
There are many games that may be exempt from UBI.
Okay, raffles. So, what? Pickle jars? What the fuck, pickle jars? Why's that on there? Certain video games? Mr. Beast does a lot of raffles, stand in the circle type shit. Or mutual betting. Tip boards, punch boards, certain tip jars.
You've gone through the list. Select the UBI test for gaming button to learn more.
I've taken your Stay Exempt course on unrelated business income and learned about the three-part test for unrelated business income. Does the three-part test apply to gaming activities too?
Yes, it does, Richard. Generally, your gaming activity will be considered a trade or business, which is part 1 of the test, and, as I said earlier, it's not related to furthering your organization's exempt purpose, which is part 3 of the test. So, if your organization regularly conducts gaming activity, part 2 of the test, The gaming income will be considered unrelated business income unless an exception applies. Select the Exceptions button to learn more.
Is gaming a trade? Business? Hell no. Oh, now I gotta look up bingo exceptions.
So consider this. Many states, as a condition of issuing a charitable gaming license, require games to be conducted by volunteers. How do you think that requirement will affect the tax treatment of your gaming income?
Well, I've already heard of the volunteer labor
Is this why I'm always seeing those ads of, oh, we're looking for gamers? Online gamings, get paid, blah, blah. Fucking gaming.
exception to UBI. So I assume that conducting an activity using a team of volunteers shouldn't generate any UBI.
That's right. Gaming activities that are run using volunteer labor won't be treated as a source of UBI. So, do you remember the gaming-specific UBI exception from the UBI course?
Let's see. Oh, how about the bingo exception?
That's it. This exception applies to any game that's the traditional type of bingo, where all wagers are placed, all winners are determined, and all prizes are awarded in the presence of everyone playing in that game. The game also has to be legal under state and local law, and has to be played in a jurisdiction where bingo games are not regularly conducted by for-profit organizations. Select more exceptions to move ahead.
Just like at a church.
There are a couple other gaming-related exceptions to UBI. The first, income from qualified public entertainment activities, will meet the exception if it's conducted by a qualifying organization and is the type of activity traditionally conducted at a fair or exposition promoting agriculture and education. A qualifying organization is an organization exempt under Section 501c3, Section 501c4, or Section 501c5 that regularly conducts an agricultural or educational fair or exposition as one of its substantial exempt purposes. Here's an example. Organization X, a 501c5 agriculture organization, conducts harness racing at an agricultural fair in State L pursuant to a state law that permits the organization to conduct pari-mutuel betting in connection with the races. Income from wagers placed is excluded from the tax on unrelated business income. The last UBI exception I'll mention includes most games of chance conducted by exempt organizations in North Dakota, as long as the conduct of the games doesn't violate a state or local law. More details on these exceptions can be found in the public entertainment activity and gambling activities other than bingo paragraphs of Publication 598.
So I get it. My organization's charitable gaming might be taxable if it doesn't meet one of these exceptions.
You catch on fast, Richard. Remember that your taxable income involves two wagering excise taxes you need to know about. One applies to the amount wagered, the other applies to the people accepting the wagers. But neither applies to traditional legal bingo. These excise taxes also don't apply to charitable gaming as long as none of the proceeds benefit private individuals or insiders. This is good news for organizations exempt under Section 501c3 because their income must not benefit private individuals or insiders. So a properly operating 501c3 wouldn't be subject to the federal wagering excise taxes for any legal gaming activities it conducts. But for the benefit of any non-C3 organizations that might be looking in, we'll go ahead and touch on these two excise taxes. The first is a tax based on the gross amount of wagers received, which is reported and paid on Form 730 every month. The second wagering excise tax is an annual occupational tax imposed on each person liable for the tax on wagers or upon any person engaged in receiving wagers. An organization would be liable for these taxes even if it doesn't conduct charitable gaming activities very often, just an annual raffle, for example. An organization also might be liable for these excise taxes even if its charitable gaming activity meets one of the UBI income tax exemptions. Next, let's talk about the requirements for reporting winnings and withholding tax when conducting charitable gaming. So Richard, it's Saturday night and your organization is hosting a bingo game meeting the statutory bingo exclusion. Vernon pays $5 for a bingo card and sits down to play. Bingo, it's Vernon's lucky night. He wins the game and the jackpot of $1,200. In tax terminology, the wager is $5 and the winnings are $1,200. Did you know that your organization must report Vernon's winnings to the IRS?
Wow, really? How do we know what to report? What form do we use?
We'll go through all that now, and I'll point you to some resources you can use later. To start, unless the winnings are from bingo, slot machines, keno, or poker tournaments, you must report winnings, including raffle prizes, when the amount paid is $600 or more and at least 300 times the amount of the wager. In determining whether the $600 threshold is met, you have to subtract the wager from the winnings, depending on the type of gaming. See publication 3079 for details. You'll report to both the IRS and the winner on Form W2G certain gambling winnings. The winner should provide you with proper identification, including his or her social security number, so you can report accurately. Send paper copies of Copy A of Form W2G to the IRS using Transmittal Form 1096. Select Continue to move forward. If your organization conducts bingo, keno, operates slot machines, or runs a poker tournament, the reporting rules differ slightly from those just described.
How so?
For bingo and slot machines, you must report if gross winnings before deducting the wager equal $1,200 or more. With keno, if winnings after deducting the wager are $1,500 or more, you'll report them. For poker tournaments,
So I wonder if this matters with the like the Powerball shit too. The Mega Millions. And for like the gas stations and shit that sell them, are they making profit off of any of those tickets that they print out and sell? If so, do they got to write tax off? Because then, I mean, if that's the case, then you could like track down which ones like you to pay out next.
reporting threshold is higher. The winnings need to be more than $5,000 after deducting the wager. In poker tournaments, the wager is usually called the entry or buy-in fee.
When do you file the W2G?
You complete and give copies B and C of Form W2G to the winner at the same time you pay the winnings, or no later than by January 31st of the year after the year in which you paid the winnings. Send copy A to the IRS by February 28 or 29 of the year after the year in which you paid the gaming winnings. Note that there are special reporting rules that apply to foreign winners, Form 1042S, and when the person receiving the winnings is not the actual winner or is a member of a group of winners, Form 5754. However, these topics are beyond the scope of this course. Now it's time to learn about situations when you have to withhold tax on gaming winnings.
What is withholding?
Regular withholding is the collection and depositing of federal income tax from the amount won. In some cases, when paying and reporting gambling winnings to prize winners, tax-exempt organizations are required to withhold income tax from those winnings. There's also backup withholding, which we'll cover in a minute. The general rule for regular withholding is that you must withhold income tax from a payment of winnings when the proceeds from the wager are more than $5,000 and the wager was placed in a sweepstakes, wagering pool, lottery, raffle, or poker tournament, or any other wagering transaction if such proceeds are at least 300 times the amount wagered. The proceeds from a wager are the difference between the amount of the winnings and the amount of the wager. Click Continue to move on. Remember that you don't need to withhold from traditional bingo, keno, or slot machine winnings, no matter what the amount won. You don't need to withhold on winnings from a poker tournament either, as long as you report the winnings on Form W-2G.
Okay, so I know when and when not to withhold. But how much does my organization withhold? And what does it do with the withheld amounts?
The regular withholding rate is 25%, but check the instructions for Form W-2G to verify the rate for the year when you're paying a prize. The amount subject to withholding is the difference between the amount of the winnings and the amount of the wager. Withhold on the entire amount, not just on the portion greater than $5,000. Your organization will show the amount withheld in Box 4 of the Form W-2G that it will give to the winner and will send to the IRS. In addition, your organization will report annually the total amount of federal income tax it withheld during the year on Form 945, Annual Report of Withheld Federal Income Tax, by January 31st following the close of the reporting year. You also ask about what your organization should do with the withheld amount.
I don't know. I'm getting bored of that shit. It's amazing. There's so much fucking tax information crap. People think that Trump's gonna abolish this shit. Oh no. Where's Weird Camel versus United States? I'm surprised that they didn't have this as what does this have? This also going to use this frequently legislated phrase the amendments equal protection of the laws. Racial discrimination, Roe versus Wade. How come this isn't Trump and Biden though? It's Bush and Gore. Election recounts. Because didn't Al Gore win? He won, and then Bush cried and wanted a recount. See, the individual citizen has no federal constitutional right to vote. For electors, for the President of the United States, unless and until the state legislature chooses a statewide election as the means to implement power and appoint members of the Electoral College. So you're basically just voting to tell somebody else how you would like to vote, and then they kind of speak for you. And they could either agree or disagree with what you want. But either way, you gave the power to the Electoral College. To choose the president, it seems. Part of Chad. In some cases, a piece of carded Chad is hanging. It says by two corners. Whatever the hell that is. Carded Chad. That was way back in 2000. Just think, man, that was the election that could have stopped 9/11. Anyways, we're property, which is representation. What? What? What does that have to do? Congress, the executive judicial office of a state and members of legislature thereof is denied to any of the male inhabitants of such a state, I mean 21 years of age, Hmm. Involuntary servitude. So the 14th Amendment made it illegal for states to pass laws which abridge the privileges or immunities of the citizens of the United States. Not due process of law. Huh. Okay. What is the Reconstruction era? America went through a Reconstruction era? What? These amendments are called the Reconstruction Amendments because they were passed during the Reconstruction America? What? When was America reconstructed? Dicta? You dicta? What? This is Hawaii. So what? He stopped illegals from entering Hawaii? They got commerce is capitalized like nothing else is. Bait is to nullify something. To debate is to argue about something. I'm not debating your argument. I'm baiting it. I mean, it's nullified, bitch. Shut up. Ooh, let's look up absolute privilege. What? Like how I like this title. Inferior courts. Yeah, how long has Obama even been in the country? What? See, this is what all public servants swear an oath to before they take office. And they're all fucking in violation of this shit, man. Hmm. What? It's not letting me click on section 4. There. Yeah, violation of their oath. In violation of the oath of office. Now you just step down. No pension collection, nothing. Just then they need to be investigated, audited, everything. That's what Oregon's trying to do right now. They're not trying to create a new state, but they're trying to change the border from East Oregon's into part of Idaho, so junctioning the two or more states. So they're going through the whole vote and legal process of that shit now to be joined with Idaho. Which they don't understand is all the weed shops that are over here are going to get shut down because if they become part of Idaho, they're not going to be legal. So I don't know who the hell's voting for that shit. See, this too. They're in violation of the United States shall guarantee every state in the Union or Republic form of government that shall protect each against invasion. This is an invasion of domestic terrorism. Because that's all these immigrants have done is come and murdered and violated people. Well, you gotta get your members of Congress to act on this shit. And this is what I don't get. It's under the Confederation? Ah, the Confederation was the South, wasn't it? All debts, contract engaged shall be valid against the search under the Constitution as under the Confederation. Oh, was this before and after? Because we were a confederation before we became the states. This is the part they forget. The contrary makes it notwithstanding. So if it contradicts it, it's notwithstanding. What? No, that's all the people who signed it. Too bad it doesn't show their age. I know there's a lot of people that were young. King Rufus? Nathaniel Gorham, King Rufus. What? They skipped a bunch of. The hell? Hmm. What's your definitions of the law? Interfere, to intimidate. This is under medical shit. That's your right to travel to and fro as well. Because they pull you over without an emergency. Unless, some people are breaking the law. But I mean, when you're stopped for not breaking a law because, they think your window tint is too dark. Or they're just, you're sitting in your car, so, they stopped you for suspicious activity. But they stop, intimidate. Because they may think that you're, in reasonable apprehension of bodily harm to yourself, to the officer. That's why they tell you to keep your hands out of your pockets, even though you weren't doing anything in the first place or anybody else. It's an intimidation tactic they use. Wow. That's why people ask, what's your reasonable, articulate suspicion of apprehension? Means who's the victim? You know, you're here to intimidate me. What's the him or herself or the other that you claim to be a victim of this so-called suspicious criminal act that you are obstructing me on? Physical obstruction. Even though this is about legal fucking giving birth, but these are definitions that these people use in legal arguments. If you don't speak it with their terminology, what physical obstruction means, it means the rendering of impassable ingress or to egress from a facility or whatever, or from a place of religious worship, rendering passage from such a facility or place of worship is unreasonably difficult or hazardous. Which means if you're impaired while driving or traveling, then yes, obviously that is a hazard. But stopping somebody for driving down the fucking road doing the speed limit, oh yeah, I'm pissed. I'm pissed about that still. That's fuck that. It always happens. Oh, sir, you've been obeying the law. Can't be having that. Why are you driving the fucking speed limit? Everybody's like flying past me. I guarantee everybody that's flying past me speeding down the highway is all insured. And hell yeah, you could just be like, it's about your reproductive health services. Why are you traveling? Because, man, I met this hot ass bitch up in 2 states over. I'm going to get me some. That's the right of reproduction. What medical thing you got? Man, I'm going to have MSB if I don't. What's MSB? Massive sperm buildup? What? Conspiracy against rights. In disguise on the highway. That's why you need to have marked cars. Especially nowadays, dude, you got too many of these fucking retards out here that are claiming could be freaking cops when they're not. Too many posers. And I don't know why the hell you would want to. God, you gotta be freaking weird in the head to want to go pose as a police officer. Don't get me twisted. I ain't anti-cop. I'm anti-rights violations. Like, man, ain't no reason to cut corners. This is why they say it's an attempted kidnapping. Because, I mean, how many officers have actually been charged with a lot of this? This is what gets a lot of judges in trouble because they act under the color of law and then violate your rights. But if you're in agreement with it and you don't know what rights are being violated and you're giving up all these rights because you have no clue what the hell they really are, so they definitely don't give you the time to research any of this shit. And you're definitely not educated enough to know any of this. I just like looking at all this stuff because it's pretty entertaining. Didn't they change the definition of UFOs to be something else? But we still use the word alien? Yeah, how come a lot of those protesters aren't being charged for this? You know, a lot of them that rioted against cops and stuff and were anti-cop or whatever. You know, so, I mean, they're basically in uniform being discriminated against. I mean, did their right to protest violently or whatever outweigh their? A state, possession, or commonwealth of the United States. I don't know what commonwealth is. See, and this is another reason right here that this is way important. As well as this. Any benefit, service, privilege, program, facility, activity provided by the Minister of the United States. And it's stupid. Yeah, they took my fucking license without being convicted or even sentenced in a court of law of fucking anything. Bullshit. They said they had grounds to because the DMV said I had to sign up for this bullshit ass insurance, which I already had fucking insurance. And they said this insurance, special bullcrap insurance, I had to pay for 3 years. Like, what? I was never sentenced in a court of law of being extorted my money for 3 years. Show me the judgment on that, because I was only sentenced to pay a ticket, which was $200. But now I gotta go through the bullshit appeals court because fucking stupid judges violating their damn oaths of office. Huh. Wow. Wow. Federally protected activities. Traveling or using any facility, interstate commerce, or using any vehicle, terminal, or facility in any common carrier by motor, rail, water, or air. Yeah, how do they call it a peaceful assembly, which freaking most of his shit was inciting persons to write or commit acts of physical violence upon other individuals. And these guys got away with all that shit. They got away with all that shit, but I can't fucking drive down the damn road and go buy milk. What? This is weird because I just watched a video where this dude was picketing outside a courthouse. The one cop tried to arrest him. The other one was like, "No, you can't do that." He's like, "I was going to charge you with obstruction." He's like, "No, it's First Amendment protected right." So this is that. I just, yeah. So this law, which a cop tried arresting a dude on, it goes against your First Amendment right to assemble and protest. Where's contempt? Well, contempt isn't in here. What? Oh, why do we call them natives? Prison made goods. How can you tell if your items were made in prisons, though? Ah, It's not what it said before. Yeah, that's what happens when you sign those driver's license things. You express consent. Softwood. Smuggling. The law respecting the revenue over rights, huh? Destruction of your rights for profit. Whoa. Uh, See, I'm pretty sure this is the code officers try to go off of when they try to search your shit. Car becomes a vessel of the United States because it's registered under the state you live in. Any vessel that fails, or your broke down vehicles get that spray paint and towed away because they're broke down abandoned vehicles. Which basically you don't have a seizure. That's under the abandonment, whatever one I looked at earlier. Mhm. What? Clean diamond trade? It's your social security card. I like how they use the Great Depression as excuse to fucking rob us, man. New regulations. Free lunch. I know. Ain't no such thing as a free lunch. Ah, that's funny. Everybody's like, claim your identity or blah blah. You got to file an LCC and turn yourself into a corporation partnership with yourself, which is basically creating an alter ego. Which technically you're the beneficiary of this alter ego. Now, this guy makes all the income. I don't know how they fucking do it. It's weird. No sense. Anti-green mail. Money and financial problems. Well, don't those go hand in hand, huh? 401. That's how you solve your debt. You just prove your insolvency. Like, man, I'm too fucking poor to pay this shit. You have no assets that can garnish. Oh, I gotta worry about that crap. This shit that can rip with that. Older versions. Hey, that's everything I need.